Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, and welcome back to more Nanyang Championships, which will be held in Singapore land with 10 of the best teams you could ask for. We're in the NA qualifier, where there is one spot for one American team to make it to that land. And right now we are in the middle of a series, our first series today, which is going to be Cloud9 going against Union Gaming. I am joined by Gods. Gods, game number one, Cloud9 all day. They looked really good. Union Gaming, fortunately not up to snuff. Things could be different this time. We have a bit of a change in the roster.
So, everybody's favorite NA player, IX Mike.
Woo!
Woohoo! Stepping in. We don't know how this is going to affect the roles. As the Spanish caster Goody / Not Today player said, hey Mike, you're not a mid player. What's going on here? Mike, known almost solely for his offlane play.
Yes. Very good Clockwork player, was known, of course, like at this Star Ladder Season 10 run, pulled out a Bat Rider, really got a lot of people excited. I mean, He put up a decent run there, but unfortunately his overall success always seems to be, not even the bridesmaid. He's probably like, I don't know, the flower girl. But he's there. He's present, but here he is right now. He is at the aid of Cloud9. Unfortunately for Brack's internet issues, we'll see if they get resolved, if there is potentially Game 3 or maybe a future round if Cloud9 do push on. But I'm very curious to see how they're going to be swapping up the roles. We were talking about maybe MSS will probably be stepping in for the mid. Maybe Ritsu also could, maybe depending on what hero they get and feel comfortable with. I don't know Mike to play a whole lot of Darkseer, and MSS just did play it. So we'll have to see. I would love to see Mike in mid lane.
He's probably watched the last game like, oh, we can. These guys are easy. Just put me mid, boys. This will be fine.
He also does play in offlane Earthshaker a lot, but with a Darkseer, it's probably just going to be Darkseer.
That's right.
And
so
for Union, they're going to get a Gyrocopter and a Dazzle combo.
Yeah, Cloud9 just going straight into the exact same opening. Again, something you can theoretically look to punish a bit as far as the lanes go. You've got 2 melee heroes, but Darkseer just good in lane. Gyro, much better in the safe lane. You've already secured a better hero in the safe lane that can deal with a Darkseer, even with just the one support there. You can go for a 2-1-2 setup when you've got Gyrocopter. With Morphling, I think it just didn't work. And that's where I think Game 1, a lot of the problem was the draft for Union Gaming. So I'd say things looking a lot better from the get-go here with this Gyro Dazzle opener.
So what has been left in the pool, and that is just so tantalizing right now to the touch here?
Is it the anti-mage again? I don't know.
Maybe.
You're maybe a bit concerned about an offensive trailing. Gyro Dazzle +1 can always cause problems there, but that would mean you'd have to pick up a hero to 1v1 a Darkseer, which there's a few out there that can.
What we could see, Loomdun, Cloud9's coach, did tell me, and actually I'm just proven wrong now, but I guess I'll finish my thought anyways, was that, with Ritsu, who is such a heavy farmer, one of his favorite and top playing heroes is an Ember, and I was saying maybe he could just take that Ember to the mid lane possibly, but now with this Storm Spirit being picked up, maybe he plays Storm Spirit as well. We'll have to see. But Storm being grabbed here, and there is still an AM out there, but with the commitment already to Gyrocopter, and unless Union Gaming want to throw Gyro mid and still pull out an AM, it looks like Cloud9 are just able to take advantage of the early committed core pick from Union Gaming.
Yeah. And Union, I think, recognizing they have very little to deal with this, immediately pick up Skywrath Mage. So they have an aggressive support who can rotate round. Okay, they're going to go back to the Anti-Mage, but on the Skywrath, aggressive, can rotate round. Silence, great against the Storm, can punish him a bit with rotations, but C9 just say, we're going to get the AM. No questions asked, and Union, Dragon Knight.
Dragon Knight. Okay, so we saw Dragon Knight yesterday. Not very successful, unfortunately, but, he's just one of those heroes, very kind of objective-based. He's durable, he's tough. Yep. Yeah, he'll be able to, take the harassment that could come out from a Storm Spirit. I don't really expect him to do too well overall. He can certainly hold his own, bang it out, get some CS here and there. Not one to really venture out from the lane. It's like he's going to plant his feet, push forward until he can get that tier 1. And we just may see one of those kind of games that the second that their first mech comes online, Union Gaming could really make an all-out push on trying to just take some towers down fast.
Yeah, I think you're kind of spot on about them being very objective-based here. And DK, not the laning stage, you probably have a slight disadvantage against Storm, but it's a good matchup in the mid-game because it's an instant lockdown stun. Like, you go that Blink Dagger build, maybe that's popular now, and you've got an insta-stun for either Storm or Anti-Mage if you want to gank one of those two heroes, so you've at least got options to kill these two heroes initiate. Because Skywrath, you can't just... You run him, get a silence off, where's the lockdown coming from? So DK was like almost something along those lines was an essential pick for Union Gaming. that could provide them some crowd control, unless they got it from their offlaner. But I imagine they'll get an offlaner with some additional lockdown and initiation potential. They're a bit light maybe on the damage output here as well, with DK not really being a hero with a huge amount of firepower. He takes a long time to actually become a right-clicking carry. That's kind of like the ultra late game DK.
We look to Cloud9 now for their final pickup, which I wager being their second support, probably more 5-position support at this point. Union Gaming wagered the Wyvern was a top priority, which is pretty good, but they want to play pretty defensive here. They still have some other options to go for, even outside the Dazzle Wyvern. Maybe a fancy Omni Knight could even pop up because of the free BKB for an anti-mage to work with, a Storm to jump in.
They want to make sure they get someone who can zone the Union offlaner, so I think they'll get a range support of some kind. Witch Doctor comes to mind.
Witch Doctor.
Crystal Maiden's still a possibility, not as good at zoning.
Bane, Shadow Demon, hell, maybe even a Silencer. Pretty good zoner. Silencer's good against a Dazzle, who typically,
Silencer's really good with Storm. You pull in, and there's just like, you can't do anything about the Storm during that global silence, so that's a pretty cool idea to go for something like a Silencer here. I wonder if that's on Cloud9's mind.
Yeah, I do worry that outside of his big ultimate, you're working between that long cooldown, and if it doesn't seem to work out with that one big ult, then you have a Union Gaming squad who's pressuring your towers, and Silencer can't really do a whole lot about that. Not really big on clearing out creep waves. But yeah, if they feel confident enough, they have certainly huge team fight to back it up. Darkseer, Earthshaker, could always go for a reliable Rubik as well.
Yes, that's actually a good. I kind of like the Rubik now that you bring it up. Is just gives you that reliable instant lockdown as well, and
maybe you can steal a grave. That would be swell.
It kind of depends if they feel like they need more team fight, and they will go something more team fight centric. Ancient Apparition comes out, so
I like it because obviously the common counters, you get to nerf down the pesky heal from Dazzle and Dragon Knight's passive, and very good against the push. It's pretty obvious that this is the kind of team that will probably bring themselves together, which only makes an Ice Blast that much easier. And unfortunately, they went with a committed Darkseer. We've seen a lot of those kind of lineups where it's like a Storm plus an Ancient Apparition plus a Clockwork, where normally the Clockwork would lead in, drop down the cogs, quick follow-up with the Ice Blast, and Storm Spirit's there immediately with his quick mobility to just kind of clean it up. They could still do certainly the same here. Storm Spirit finds a target, Ancient Apparition sets it up, guarantees the kill. So a little bit of everything here happening for Cloud9. They have great team fight, great picking, great mobility, and then that insurance policy of a late game AM.
Yeah. And for Union now, last pick almost needs to be that kind of utility offlane type hero. Spirit Breaker taken out, same for the Clockwork, so Tusk banned as well. There are fewer of the mainstream options available, and dealing with an anti-mage here, not going to be easy for kind of what's there. Undying, I think, is just doesn't really quite cut it. The way they played it last game, especially in the offlane, just the hero turned to food. The Tombstone just ended up feeding more gold than it really achieved much. So
they like what they saw with the Beastmaster and Cloud9, and they're like, we can play Beastmaster too. Why don't we apply that here? But this time in his standard offlane position. Actually, I don't even know if I would call it the standard. I mean, Beastmaster has been just as fruitful mid lane as of recent as he has been in the offlane, but it's not too bad. On the Radiant side, you have decently close access to the Ancient camp if you do need to stack there. The nicest thing is that you have that bigger camp right by the lane that he could just easily axe to pull into the lane. So it is pressure on Cloud9 supports, making sure they keep that in check, don't allow the Beastmaster to easily get those pulls and bring the creep equilibrium closer to his tower.
I quite like the pick, and again, more lockdown to kind of keep the AM, the Storm in place. These are the kind of picks they really needed to do with this. And we asked the question, who's playing what role? It looks like Mike will be on the Darkseer, and MSS will swap over towards mid. He's picked up Storm Spirit, so MSS, I think it was the old Mouse/Team Dog where he played mid. He played a lot of Dragon Knight. I think he played quite a bit of Storm back then, so he's probably more suited towards the mid lane than putting your standard Ix Mike there, I guess.
Yeah, he's just like one of those players, one of those kids. He's been around the Dota block, and he has put on every kind of uniform you could ask for in each kind of position, so he's not afraid to just take off the offlane uniform and throw on his mid lane hat if necessary. So I'm curious to see how they'll be pulling that out. It's probably something the team itself hasn't really practiced in their scrim play. It's obviously a unfortunate situation that Brax is unable to attend game number 2, but with Mike in, they have a full roster, and we'll proceed here. So let's get started for game 2 here of this best of 3. And you got to remember, for the Nanyang NA qualifier, there is no lower bracket. This is a single elimination. If Union Gaming are to lose this game, they will be out of the Nanyang.
There is a lower bracket.
There is a lower bracket?
Yeah, with BO1s though.
Oh,
Yeah. We got some BO1 action happening. I think it's the low. We're going to go through a couple low bracket games over the next few days. So.
Oh, okay. I might have just missed it on the schedule here as things go forward. My bad.
Okay.
So hey, look at that. Each team gets a second chance. That means we get to witness the Void Boys once more, and we also will get to see Root Gaming, another return from them. So that's exciting. More clowny games.
14:37, leaving the observer would kill for the AM. What a nice guy.
That extra
and the
gold.
Hawk money.
Easy 80 gold at the start.
He's got
right
2
there for
CS.
Ritsu.
He's so far ahead.
That GPM is just out of control now here for Ritsu.
If only he got the bounty rune, but MSS will claim that one.
He claims that one. That means that fire on the Dragonite's going to grab the bottom one. He takes that back to the mid lane. We already acknowledged a bit the mid lane matchup here on what's going to be traded between the Storm Spirit and the Dragonite. Do you think it's more pressure on the side of Union Gaming to keep MSS in check and maybe try to get that glorious pick-off before he reaches that magical level 6?
The main issue here is that you won't have the DK level 6 with the range form, because MSS is likely to get more XP out of this lane, so with the Dazzle just leeching, but I guess just secures a slightly better start for Fire, although already MSS gain denies against the dual lane.
Yeah, it guarantees the quick bottle here on Dragonite, which is already being ferried out for him. So he's in a good spot. We look at the top lane here. Your Beastmaster really trying to utilize that nice little early buff of having double bores, and he'll be able to just snag some quick CS.
Yeah.
Thieban can zone him back a bit, certainly with the help of Chilling Touch, which he has not leveled up anything yet, mind you. But him alone, it's not going to be enough. Beastmaster is more than happy to kind of take on
Curious Knight mid. SVG. He's got no boots. I don't think he can get it.
Oh, doesn't even connect with the first punch.
He would need 2. Yeah, I don't think he had any way with that. He doesn't have the move speed. Courier's actually faster than him, and as a melee hero, ambitious, but
what if he fissured to block the Courier?
I was thinking that I was like, does the Courier? Because I don't know how the Courier pathing would work. Like, let's say you don't even micro, would it run like upwards if you block the path? Like, that would be kind of fun to see.
And would they even be paying attention? Does it idle there like a creep would, or is it like, I gotta find the next best path? Which
let's walk into the Surf Shaker. He looks friendly.
Yeah, but
he'll show me the way.
It's like you're in the heat of the moment. You're like, if I waste this fissure, it doesn't work out. Then I have no fissure in case they make the jump. But
no, I think you don't fissure there.
Valiant effort from SVG. He just continues to kind of make that trend. Like, I'm going to be all over the place. You don't know where I am. I lurk in the shadows. I am the Batman. And
asking for a remake.
Maybe Brax has returned. I'm not too sure, but currently it's Thieban who has lagged out from the game. We were spoiled, gods. We were spoiled by TI and by ESL and all these huge events. Now we're right back
to DDoS Central.
To DDoS 2.
I mean, remake favors Union. This start is absolutely fantastic for C9. MSS has not missed a creep in the mid lane. He's about to get 8 for 8. I mean, the Dazzle has done nothing by his presence in the mid lane. Anti-Mage got the 2 extra last hits on the Observer Ward as well as the Hawk, so honestly, if you're Union, I think a remake favors you right now. So we'll see, though. I'm not sure what.
Admin's in there. He's like, you guys okay with this?
Oh, yeah, he did. I was about to say, first I thought he just did spectator chat.
Is that serious? Oh, this is going great.
Yeah.
This is who's called Ethel? Does that say Ethel? Ethel's like a grandma's name.
I think he's the Russian caster, maybe.
Gold Ethel.
That's not a very Russian caster sounding name.
Let's see what's going on elsewhere. It's our boy Mikey here. He is level 2. He's got his Surge. He's got his Iron Shell. He's going to do his thing. Go for a Soul Ring. Farm it up. No big deal. It's kind of hard to get in the lane. Skywrath is, you get in the lane with Skywrath. You're like, I hate this guy so much.
I mean, look at MSS. Like, he has the easy lane against the Morphling. He's like, I'll take the Darkseid. Now he's got a Sky Jar. He's like, okay, I'm going mid now. Like, great, Mike's here. Consult lane.
Classic. It wouldn't be a game, though, without a classic matchup like this and Mike.
Yeah.
What's happening here?
Communication is ended.
Is that serious? Do not troll me. I don't know if the admin's one to troll. I don't know how dank the Nanyang squad is.
Well, as per admin needs to make a call, man. As per usual, so the call's on the players.
We're just the casters here, I'm sitting in my booth, just waiting out now.
I've seen Toby tweeting all weekend long #JustCaster, and that's us today.
Yep.
Well, that's us most days.
Looking for the load here. They can always get Loom done. He's their coach. He is a support player.
Yep.
Could sub in. We'll just keep firing through their Rolodex of players until we.
I just know Loomdon from picking Treant Protector all the time. He'd play team party queue and then just pick Treant and just living armor you all day long. It's great. He's great to play party queue with when he's
he plays Feels like he plays really great support when he's in his upper bracket, but when I play with him, he's like, okay, I know I'm going to be in the trench, so I will carry. I will play PL, and I will hit creeps, and I will try to get you up there. What's happening here?
Good question.
Right. Well, winning about, they'll make a decision, I'm sure, soon here, but let's talk about the rest of today, Gods. And now that you gave us a bit of an inkling as far as the future schedule, and I clearly don't know, so we can get inside of that. So this is our first best of 3, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, Cloud9 taking on Union Gaming. We're in just game number 2, but this is not the end of it today. The next series is going to be the new Team Fire going against Pain Gaming, the Brazilian squad, Gods. And you got to remember, Team Fire is Jo, as we all know, from Rave. 747, a.k.a. Susie. He is from Void Boys. He's actually very good. He plays in FPL. A lot of people have been really talking about his skills. Moo, as we all know, he's, I believe, currently ranked number 2 in top MMR in America. He's your offlane player. We got Whitebeard. We all know who Whitebeard is. You know, formerly Sna, Fire, etc. And then, of course, the one and only Captain Fluff. And Blitz as a sub.
Do we get to see Blitz Dota today?
If
someone
this
gets
happens,
DDoS,
yeah, I'm just gonna,
I'd like to say, like, that's as a sub. I feel like that's one of your key roles. Like a teammate gets DDoS, you need to stay. Like this is where C9 should need a 6 or I guess, like you say, Loomdun's more their coach, maybe less so. I mean, in emergencies, I imagine he's more than capable of playing. But there's maybe play like here they pull an Ix Mike. But all right, everyone's saying go.
Yeah, it looks like maybe we'll go a remake, and MSS says we might need to use another stand-in, unfortunately. For the matchup later, Fire, they're going against Pain Gaming. For anyone who's been around watching the NA Dota for quite a while, Pain Gaming, some of these players formerly from CNB Esports, which they were made from the old Swag and Tiger squad. The Swag and Tiger, they kind of made a name for themselves in their MLG Columbus run. Kind of the same sense how, what was it, Swag Boys? No, what was it? What was the other Swag team? With Rio Boris and
Pretty Boy Swag.
Pretty Boy Swag.
Yeah.
I just remember that was the season of Swag, if you will. Okay. Swag and Tiger, and are we remaking here? What's actually
no almost
router reset? I gotta unplug it and plug it back in. I'll blow the dust off, and that will make it work.
It's the old N64 trick. Exactly. What can go wrong here?
All right, we'll continue to wait. So, what do you think about that matchup? Fire going against Pain. Obviously, a lot of people have Fire.
I rate Pain quite highly. I feel like that's, to me, I would almost say 50-50. Just I think Pain a bit more stable. They're not quite as much a new team. I think they're a bit more underrated, but like these players, C4T, Tavo, 40R, these guys have been like together and playing in this squad for some time, and they've always had at least like consistent results. So
we see a lot of these Southern American teams, and we always see like sparks. Just like nice sparks of talent where they just really showcase their skill, and you're like, oh my goodness, they can actually really take it far. But somehow, some way, it always ends up being, you know, like the Not Today is like the one prime team, and then you have your Isurus, you have your Pain, you have your Union Gamings, you have your Team Unknowns, and they're all just still trying to make a name for themselves. Yep. But overall, and I was talking about this with Merlini a bit, like NA Dota as a whole, it's just starting to thrive a bit. You know, it's become more
stable.
Yeah, like, people are like, if we actually buckle up and take this serious, and throw a team together and drill it, we could be the next EG / Cloud9.
Now there's majors, so it's like every single. There's always going to be. Like this, if you're the second best team in America, you're going to a lot of big events and potentially winning a lot of prize money. In the past,
that was complexity at TI.
Yeah, in the past, being the second best team in America didn't really get you much. But now with majors, it's completely changed, and everyone's like, oh, having a stable, consistent roster and like having an NA scene is really good for us right now.
Yeah, you put together a couple of best of threes, and suddenly you're in the money, and that's 5-digit money, surprisingly. So. No surprise about that, but look at this, folks. We have Dota again. Back and underway. It looks like Theban has made his return after dusting off the old router, and he'll be in action here. No blood has been drawn yet from where we left off. We're only reaching the 2-minute mark. Just a simple laning setup here. Beastmaster, only 1 CS right now. But look how much Ritsu's already gotten. 11 and 4 at only 2 minutes in. Pretty much perfect CS with that Crow and Ward on top.
Yeah, and Gyro slightly behind, always kind of the case against the Darkseer, and Axi's gone for a homing missile build here, so something a bit different here, more designed to kind of zone out the offlane Darkseer.
That is going to be very annoying.
Yeah. It means Darkseer getting a few CS here and there, hits in 4 CS, probably won't get much more XP than he has right now with the level 3, so Gyrocopter can kind of stay on top of this lane, although with Boots, he doesn't really have great sustain for this lane. He's going to run out of mana very quickly. Well, he's only really got one more homing missile up his arsenal before he's got to get some mana regen out here. So Mike actually may be able to kind of come up on this lane if Gyro chews through all his mana.
Or Hockey can always share clarity. Sharing is caring after all, but they're going to make the move on the mic here. Here they go. They got a haste on LN. This should be enough. Easy Rocket Barrage follow-up, and that is your kill. Certainly helps to have that bit of magic amplification from the Ancient Seal, but Hockey is going to be one picking up your first blood. It's Union Gaming who do strike first, and of all people, it's on Mike.
No comment? No.
It's okay.
Mike's one of the people who gets so much crap from the community for his play, but he's actually damn solid offlane.
He really is. I always, when we're at the big events like Starlight and stuff, I'm like, don't sleep on Mike. You want to make sure, and he was worthy of a first ban Batrider during that run and everything.
When he was when it was Fire, it was during Starlighter season 12, whatever, when we went to Kiev, or season 11, I can't remember what number, they did so many, but when Fire went to Kiev, they played some good Dota. They were very competitive with the Empire and VP that were kind of the CIS powerhouses back then, so
I just like to give him crap because he gives me crap every day.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, he's going to try to sidestep around Hockey, and he will make it back to the lane here, pushing toward his level 4, which actually isn't that bad. I mean, yes, he died, but you look at the Beastmaster here, and he's still level 2.5, and he's going to be working with the stacks here. It looked like they might have been pinged out.
To the top room we go. Both teams looking to contest this one, but looks like it'll be MSS who comes out on top.
Yeah. Easy grab for him, heads back, but SVG is there to help secure it for him, and now SVG, look at this, he might be warding into the Ancients here. Yep, very nicely done. That's going to block the remaining stacks and, help them keep tabs as far as where this Beastmaster is going and what he's up to.
Yeah. So SVG a little less active this game, but he's now making a move towards mid.
Gets the stun on the fire. It's not going to be enough to block it out, and with LN there, they certainly will not be getting that DK down, but again, they're adding a bit of harassment, and hey, Mike, what are you doing here? He's going to be crossing from the bottom lane, and it looks like heading all the way up and into the jungle, possibly, to find some farm.
Yeah, it's a good move all in all, though. Puts a bit of pressure on Fire. He's bottle crowing, so he doesn't have much HP regen on him. He maybe misses some last hits under the tower now, and MSS with a regen rune, so this is just kind of just play money that he's working with here. The HP and mana that he uses to go in for that harass doesn't really matter when you're sitting on the regen.
I feel like they might be trying to bait out their DK. Hockey is waiting right behind the trees, and they have Dazzle ready to go.
And they know MSS is going to play cocky because he's got that regen, so if he gets a bit too aggressive and you catch him out with a concussive shot or something, suddenly you may be looking at a kill before he can pop the regen.
Will he take the bait, though? He's just going to step back for now and hide under his tower. And how long do these supports want to wait behind this DK?
They've got vision now. They want to really cancel the regen, but they won't get a chance. Oh, he pops it as he hits 6.
He's holding it. He's bouncing back and forth here. Still making it work. Does he make a commit to go on the fire? Will he hit him once? And he's just going to be dancing around.
We can watch the dance.
Fancy footwork here coming out from MSS, but there is not going to be a follow-through.
He's playing very cautious. I think he knows he hasn't seen the supports in forever, so...
Yeah, they've been missing. Plus, they have this very deep ward here still, which was not dewarded, so they can see the rotations coming through in case Hockey does leave the lane. It actually expires right at that moment as he's making the pull, but just gives him that extra bit of intel, and now it's going to be SVG who takes over the bottom lane, so he'll get some time to solo farm up. Goes for the 1-1-1 now, and he's in a good spot. So they're just kind of trading farm all over the places here. Mike is getting very close to his soul ring as he just works through the jungle, but overall just continues to be a bit of a standstill before they can follow up. And we know Ritsu, he's just going to play the same game probably from what we saw the last time, except this time no ring of regen, so possibly no build-up into Vlad's necessary.
And this time Union Gaming have better options at dealing with an anti-mage. You've got catch potential, you've got a Beastmaster Roar, you've got Skyreth Silence before AM farms up a Manta style, and you've got DK with an insta-stun in the Dragon Tail. So likely we'll see either the Shadow Blade or the Blink Dagger come out from Dragonite, one of these 2 initiation items, and that just means that AM won't just be able to split push to victory this game. Like last game, once AM had a good start and got Battle Fury Vlads, it was an unlosable game for a properly played anti-mage. At that point, unless Ritsu just threw the game, it was never going to be lost. But this time around, if Union play smart and make some good ganks, they can actually pick him off and counter him.
For the story of offlaners, it continues to be a bit of a struggle here for your Beastmaster. Continues to get pelted, has no mana, and takes the long walk of shame all the way back to the base. We'll probably have to spend the 100 gold to TP back once more. And then you compare that to Mike, who was killed, but look at this. He's level 5. He just made an additional stack and is actually going to be handing the stack off now to MSS. This is a big farm for him. He already has 1k gold. Gods, what do you wager? Is it a straight to Bloodstone kind of a game? He doesn't have a soul ring, so maybe goes for the Orchid. Yeah, careful, buddy.
Yeah. Normally you want to get the soul, like regardless of which item you're going for, you normally see the soul ring come out, so I wouldn't see surprises that if you pick that up. And he's probably going to go back to base, pick up Tread. I don't think he has money for Treads and soul ring here. But I think soul ring is just core on Storm, regardless of whether you're going Orchid or Bloodstone first.
Ideally now, we see our FFS Gyrocopter at level 7, near level 8. For a lot of teams, this is the time for him to get a bit proactive. You'll usually see that early smoke, TP rotation, and he puts that first call down really to strong use by picking off the opposing safe laner, something that for a while has been unexpected from your Gyros. We saw it a lot through TI, so it could be more expected now, but here he is, no smoke. He's just considering the idea with flirting around this mid lane, but it looks like it's all the same. They want to get him involved.
Yeah, and Haste Rune too. This is one of the benefits of the Bottle Gyrocopters. You can find these playmaking runes, Haste, Invises, DD Flak, even with no items. The DD Flak does a lot of damage in a team fight, so we'll see where he looks to move here. Has the TP, so if there's any potential action anywhere on the map, he'll TP and pop the Haste and look for some kills.
And it looks like Hockey is going to put more emphasis on leveling up the Arcane Bolt over value into the Silence. So, I mean, I guess you could see an argument for both sides in this kind of a game. You're going against a Storm Spirit. You might want to consider putting a lot more into the Silence and an AM, or even stopping a Darkseer from surging away. But it looks like they want to put more in just the burst.
I think for now it's okay, especially for zoning the offlane. It works out well, and you may go for like a balanced build, like go for like a 2-1-2 type build, and get like kind of equal points between the Arcane Bolt, Ancient Steel. But even maxing the nuke is always good damage. Like the level 1 silence, still 3 seconds. Combine that with stuns from DK Beastmaster, you're still looking at a decent amount of control.
77 and 28 CS on Ritsu. This is disgusting. That is just an AM dream right now. So he's got his Perseverance, no surprise. He's going to make a good quota on that first Battle Fury, it looks like. Just all in a day's work for Ritsu right now. But here we go. That's the smoke we've been looking for Union Gaming. They're looking to get another kill in the kill column here.
They see heroes too. This Hawk giving them a lot of good vision. Can they kill MSS though? He finds the Hawk. If he pops a Remnant, he could see them from smoke before...
Oh, they'll see more of an easy target here in AA and probably just go for that instead. Interest there. It's actually nicely blocked, but AA by that point has already eaten so much damage. He's going to be easily cleaned up. FSX moves over, sees a nice little stack here. He's going to quickly farm it down. This is great. Heads up. Just quickly get this while they can, and that's going to just give him that much more gold and take that much more away from MSS.
Yeah. Just a double stack, though. If they got there when there was like the quad stack that was there earlier that the Storm farmed, it would have been huge, but... That's like kind of that's not the ideal kind of result for the smoke gank. Just getting the support kill and a double stack of the big camp is not really that crippling for C9 the entire time. It doesn't hurt the AM one bit whatsoever. It slowed down the Storm. AM is still not being dealt with. His Battle Fury timing still looking very scary right now, and the Storm is still in a good place. He's got more CS than the DK by a big margin. He's the number 2 hero on net worth, so I think ultimately that smoke gank was maybe about an equal trade between the two teams.
Would have been great for Union Gaming if the smoke led to a pickoff maybe closer to the mid lane. You could then quickly utilize that Dragon Form and follow it up with that Tier 1 takedown, but they got the stack nonetheless out of it. And speaking of stacks, they got a big one here, and it's going to be the DK who will farm it up. So he's going to quickly blitz through this and probably go for what you were saying, that first big, possibly mobility item, whether it be that Shadow Blade or a Blink Dagger.
Yeah. I kind of like the Shadow Blade just because it gives you some carry potential.
Hold that thought. They're making it go on the top lane. Roar comes out to try to save himself. Beastmaster making away in a quick TP rotation. Call down comes out from FFS, but quickly C9 will pull back.
Okay. Good defensive reaction there, and Gyro rotating there doesn't hit the cooldown, but he has a regen rune, so he's still full HP, full mana even after that, and we'll look to transition to a push from here.
They're there for now. It's just SVG lays out the early fissure for the rest of his squad. They quickly take the opportunity to farm right through the jungle here. Ritsu now has the Claymore. Look at his finish out of Broadsword. He's about 700 gold away from that. We will be welcomed with another pause. This time it does come out from the side of UG. Yep. Just a brief second here. How is 1437 doing? You know, he's actually doing well. He's level 6, which is great. I mean, he's in that hard 5 position this game. Actually, I guess it'd be a bit of a toss-up between him and SVG. But, you know, more importantly, it's just to here you want to get levels on. The dream is you're able to throw together a Midas, and you can accelerate that XP that much further, get to that level 11 Ice Blast, and, you know, eventually make it to that glorious Agnum Scepter if possible. But he's got his level 6 now, and that first Ice Blast is already going to be heading to the top lane here. I don't know if there's going to be a follow-up with
Dazzle
it.
needs to be careful.
On the Dazzle? Oh, he's so far out. Ellen, no, it's coming. Shallow grave. I don't know. That's not going to work.
He timed it right.
He's right. Oh, wow. That was just at the end right there.
That was actually, like, that's
Well
one of those
played.
sick Dazzle plays. If you time the grave right, like, so that it lasts just the duration of the Ice Blast, it's
Very well done.
Yeah.
SVG will pull back. Unfortunately, they will come up short there, but he goes right back to the lane. He's getting pretty close to his level 6.
Bottom's being hard
That's
pressured
nice.
by Mike. He's kind of creep skipping here, putting the creep wave on the tower, and this tier 1 bottom is very low.
Yeah. Overall, Union Gaming have been neglecting the bottom half of this map quite a bit, which has allowed Mike to really push forward here. He already has his
Gyro.
buckler in the stash here.
Gyro's been caught.
Yep, right by the ancient stack. MSS does the Storm Spirit thing, quickly moves in, sidesteps the call down, gets the job done, and says, see you later. Heads right back out and back to base. That puts Cloud9 on the board now at 2-1.
Yep. So it will be a Blink Dagger for Fire. He's picked it up. He's kind of pressuring the mid tier 1 tower back, kind of countering the pressure that's at top as well as bottom, but for
Hockey walks by Mike, sees him farming, is like, can I do something about this? The Surge actually already been used. If he gets... Oh, can he burst him down with Mystic Flare? He can! Oh, man! That was a bit of an awkward, like, dirty stare right from each other. Like, Mike's there, he's farming, he sees the Skywrath Mage, so he quickly, oh, hold on a second, we got a big Ice Blast coming on the fire. It does connect. MSX should be able to follow up and finish him off here. The Shatter would come nonetheless. Hit him one more time, he got it. And it's going to be MSS who does pick up that kill. Cloud9 string of 1 together after they quickly lose their IX Mike Darks here. Now, top lane, the pressure is coming. FFS rather, TP's in, sees SVG. Rocket! Oh, it doesn't make it in time. Just coming up a bit short. SVG will make it back to base. Very close call.
Yeah. And I'm still just worried for Union Gaming because of how farmed the 2 C9 cores are. You've got Anti-Mage 000, the Dream Anti-Mage game, has Treads Battle Fury, working on the Vlads already. You've got Storm 2-0, finding kills, finding towers now as well. With all the action happening towards top, this bottom lane completely opened up. And that's where Mike dying is just kind of creating some space, finding where heroes are on the map. And Storm's like, well, that's where Skywrath is. That means I can kill the DK mid. So it's kind of a butterfly effect where, yeah, Mike maybe gets solo picked off by a Skywrath Mage, but it gives Storm the knowledge that he can go for a kill on a risky hero, because normally if DK hits him with a stun, Skywrath is there, suddenly you're dead to the Skywrath ultimate DK stun combo. So MSS gets something out of Mike's death, which is a really nice trade for C9.
And look at Ritsu go with his haste rune, man. He uses it, quickly goes to the top lane, cuts down a full wave, steps back, notices the ancient camp, and he's still considering going for another cut here, and he does. Right under the nose of Union Gaming. Just happy to take this 2 full creep waves. TP's away. Okay.
Ooh, found him.
Valiant Mystic Flare, but it's against an AM after all. He only has the 1 level in the passive, but he's able to shrug that off. But, all right, man. He's just really finding the farm all over the place. And, yeah, as you said, it continues to get better and better for him. But I'd have to say Union Gaming so far putting up a tougher fight than what we saw in game number 1.
And they've got a lineup which is good at taking objectives here. The DK going to go back for a drums after the blink, so focusing much more on whatever we can buy now to take fights. And looks like Beastmaster may be looking for a secondary Blink Dagger for the team as well, holding up to 1,800 gold here. So they're going to have double Blink Initiators, some good firepower and damage coming out from the Skywrath Mage Gyrocopter. So they've got a nice lineup just for taking fights anywhere on the map. The main issue is going to come from as soon as, if they try and 5-man and push towers and force it, C9 will just split push with AM and Storm. They have 2 heroes who can split push the 2 lanes that are not being pressured by Union Gaming. So ultimately C9 will get more out of the map if they go for just 5-man pushes. They've got to do what they've just done now, which is go for smoke ganks, look for pickoffs rather than just pushing.
Here they go. Smoked up. They got the bird out in front. They're hoping to find a sweet treat. At the top of the hills, MSS is going to see it and get... No, he can't make it out. Nice war connection going to be coming up from your Beastmaster. A follow-up Dragon Tail just for security, and they're going to get the kill. Taki's going to pick up that one. MSS... You know, maybe a quick hand off the keyboard is all it takes because he sees them and there's just not enough time to react and get out of there.
Yeah. Mike now finishes the mech for the team, but Union Gaming's already on this tier 2 tower, so without the Storm, this is not looking like it's going to be defended. And
I Ice Blast, they do a nice spread, but it still will connect on the 2, including LN. All down here, look at this. Hunting behind the tower. FFS wants to get a hold of SVG. Battle the alphabet here. They're going to make a go. They should get him. Oh, nice connection with the Axis. Ancient Seal is there. He's still on the prow. FFS. Can he get close enough? The rocket will do the job. They get him. It does draw attention away from the tier 2, but at least they have fire still here, chunking it down. Would have dropped a lot quicker if they had more help.
Oh, and AM is creep skipping as well, so this mid lane push may actually end out, except DK's got it. Just
Oh, no.
He's trying to get...
And he has to get away. This could be denied if he's not there in time. MSS
Poison
is
damage,
nearby.
yeah, takes it down there. Should get denied.
It looks like Theban's going to be taking care of that. Not before he gets a quick Ice Blast off. Man, look at that jump from MSS. Gets the quick pick onto LN. And the heads up from Theban. Gets the connection onto FFS, MSS. This is terrible, gods. These letter names? Are you kidding me right now? We got MSS. What is it? FFS, MSS, 143 SVG.
I keep trying to say SFG now.
G2A, C9. Will they make it back in a way? They're in a good spot. Still 5-3, though the majority of net worth and half of Union Gaming have just left the game.
Well then, things escalated quickly.
Well,
The old, that's the...
you're going to DDoS us, we're going to DDoS you. I don't know
the cyber cafe issues normally when it's the insta 4-man DC.
Gotta feel bad for the one lone Dragon Knight.
Yeah, I know. When I see that, I'm like, oh, so DK's like all the other 4 are all playing at the same location, and DK's being left out. Like, poor guy.
Guys, I can't do this alone.
He hasn't even got the cool DK set. He's just sporting.
Well, you gotta remember, it looks like they're all on new accounts or Smurf accounts, so maybe most of their hats are collected elsewhere.
That's true. Good point. But
how do we feel overall with where this game spectrum has gone? I mean, you can't help but obviously say that Ritsu's AM is just doing whatever the hell he wants. He's
I like the
level
current
14, and it's just crazy.
Yeah, the current game plan from Union is solid. They got up a lot of deep aggressive wards. I think blocking the camps is the wrong idea because it kind of reveals exactly where your wards are. So they did it at the Ancients. They did it in the Dire Jungle as well. I think just putting these wards in aggressive places to get pickoffs is maybe more effective because you walk to a camp, you see it's blocked, and you're like, oh, this camp's blocked. Chances are it's an observer ward. They see me here. It's dangerous because they see me if there's heroes missing on the map. So I would have liked it a bit better, but I think the concept is right, where it's deep, aggressive wards, go for smoke plays. Now's the time where you basically want to chew through all your smokes and try and apply lots of pressure on the anti-mage, because if he gets up to Manta style, I think you just lose the game. You've got some ways of dealing with him, picking him off, but you haven't got the late game carries. Gyro's gone for a drums, DK's gone for a drums as well. Your late game isn't looking that scary if you're Union because of the way they're playing. They're not stacking their ancient... Well, they've got a double, triple stack here, it looks like, but it's nothing compared to what C9 are doing with their jungle and farming efficiency. Looks like
Theban is going to get a quick D-ward here.
He thought he unblocked it, but not the case. There's still a sentry there.
Yeah, he dropped... Yeah, okay, well, we'll have to make do with it. Nice, just out of range there. I don't know if that was Union Gaming's intention, but if it was, props to that. And we're happy to just have them back, at least for now. And it looks like FFS is going to be working with this stack. It was a stack that was spotted out previously from C9. Ritsu, they make a jump on the MSS here. Dragon Tail connection. And even a Primal Roar are going to be used, and MSS just easily jumps away. They clearly don't have the burst. The Hockey Mystic Flare, unfortunately, not there in time with a silence either. Not going to be easy.
Yeah, Hockey's the one they need there. And Hockey actually going for a mech, so this is a team that really will be looking to take fights and play aggressive with this build coming out from the Skywrath, but very much feel like C9's response to this is just going to be split push, and we're already seeing it now. You've got Darkseer even just split pushing the bottom lane, gets a tier 2 tower. It's C9 just matching Union tower for tower for the most part, and as far as farm goes, they are surpassing Union Gaming.
I just don't see them able to stop this Ritsu AM at any point.
Yep.
Like,
he finds it. He finds the Ancients too.
Yeah, he went back in for it. There's a quick jump in Dragon Tail. I may have caster cursed Ritsu here if not careful. Oh, Hockey again not going to be able to make it, but he actually makes a convenient jump onto LN, who's like, oh god! Quick self-shallow grave, and Ritsu is out of there. It's just a slippery little bugger. Unfortunately, it just seems like, Hockey, he's got to be Velcroed to some of these cores, unfortunately. And, you can't really blame him. It's quite easy for someone like this Dragon Knight to make that quick blink jump, or even the Beastmaster, and unfortunately Skywrath Mage doesn't have that kind of utility. to be able to quickly be mobile into the fight, but it's just unfortunately multiple times where they're just coming up a bit short.
Yeah. It's not entirely... You can't really say it's on the Skyreth, like you say, because he doesn't have that mobility, so... Anti-Mage just... When you play this well and you kind of keep tabs of exactly where heroes are on the map, which Dire Vision's pretty good, at least in the Radiant jungle for now. Ritsu can have a good time kind of being aggressive on the map. He sees Skyreth bottom now, and he's probably thinking, okay, Beastmaster, DK, these two heroes can't actually kill me by themselves, so no Skyreth here means I'm probably pretty safe.
Looks like T-Bin got his Midas. The Golden Glove on the Golden Doom is going to be heading out his way, and at least for me personally, and this is my low standards, if I'm getting a Midas before 20 minutes, I'm good. That makes, I'm happy. So now he'll be able to quickly farm up. That means a big boost in the XP. Just quickly uses it on the creep to, max efficiency on time, I suppose, but now he can get to that level 2 Ice Blast that much faster, and of course to that Aghanim Scepter. Ritsu's going to be spotted. They quickly blink, but he's already blinked on the way out, and was the Dragon Form used? It was. So they got to be like, okay, let's go bottom. Let's go to the tier 1. We got to use this Dragon Form while we can.
And they're going to lose mid, though. That's the thing. Is if they show 5-man anywhere on the map, Ritsu will immediately blink towards top, blink towards mid. So I don't know. They can't really just 5-man push this bottom lane. They could maybe push it with like 2 heroes, 3 heroes, but the heroes that can push it are also the heroes that are needed to defend. You can't defend these side lanes with like a solo Dazzle, for example, or a solo Skyreth. AM will just blink on them and go for kills. So this is a really tough spot for Union Gaming to be in, because they can't just go for tower pushes as they'd like to. With the way Ritsu is playing, he's playing... This is really good anti-mage play. He's not just farming. He's farming like aggressively. He's applying so much pressure on the map with where he's kind of blinking, he's creep skipping.
Yeah,
he's actually, the fact you have to deal with him, like you see an anti-mage farming, but if he's just AFK farming, you're like, well, he's not annoying us, he's not pressuring us, we can at least take towers, so we're getting a trade. But Union Gaming can't get a trade because he's just being so pesky on the map and forcing them to rotate, forcing them to not go for pushes. So this is how you this is like the perfect way to play an anti-mage. This is just great.
And the nice thing is, and this comes more from this new, fresh, younger talent, is they're just finding more unique ways, like with the farming patterns, even for anti-mage. For a while, it's like for your more traditional, like for a while, like your burnings. I would even say your, for Eternal Envy, they almost could get caught out by prediction alone. It's just like, well, he's obviously going to be going across towards this farm camp, so if we cut him over here But you see Ritsu now jumping from the ancient camp across, making creep cuts behind towers, and he just knows exactly, with maybe his just very nice game sense, where the other team's going to be, where he can get away with doing this kind of farm, and just continue to be annoying. And when you're on Union Gaming and you're seeing an AM creep cut behind a tier 2 while you still have even a tier 1, you're kind of like, guys, we should maybe do something about this.
Yeah.
Like, he's really just doing this to us, and that creates frustration. Your morale's going down. You're forced to rotate around when you don't want to be, and that's just all in the day's work for Ritsu. And him alone is doing that to this team, Union Gaming.
Yeah, that's where AA gets a good timing on the Midas, because you've got all this room just to farm your creep camps, farm your jungle. Storm's getting a lot of space here. He did die the one time to a smoke gank, but that's kind of one of those things where a Union Gaming smoke gank here or there, if it just finds a pick off and doesn't lead to objectives, is ultimately okay for C9. Even if it's like an anti-mage death here or there, they're the ones applying pressure, and Union Gaming ultimately don't have the space to ever go for any kind of a pressure play of their own. We haven't seen it since that tier 2 mid push, which came off of the Storm pick. So they need to, I'd say, just go for another smoke gank and look for more of what kind of led them to get that tier 2 mid tower.
So as they come bottom, it still looks like they want to see if they can get some pressure on this tier 1 while they have some time left, like half of their dragon form left to work with. Unfortunately for them, it's still not going to be in good time for Skywrath Mage's mech. He's about 200 gold short from having that extra, bit of sustain for when they do want to come together and make pushes happen. We already know what the repercussions could be if they do 5-man and what Cloud9 would be able to get done, but they're just feeling like we at least need to remove these tier 1s and these access points, and maybe options for a future Roche could even come into play. We'll have to see. But also, this DK Shadow Amulet, and he already has a blink. So he's going with the Shadow Blade buildup, it looks like, or possibly even into the new...
Glimmer Cave?
No. The
Silver
upgrade Shadow.
Edge.
Yeah, Silver Edge.
Oh, yeah, that's a great item against the AM, of course. So.
Yeah, so I don't know if the priority is being able to get the jump, because if you're able to Shadow Blade in, so if you're even with a sentry down, I can't remember where I saw this in a video recently, but if you're able to Shadow Blade in, even with a sentry down, you could still get a quick enough jump, especially with a hero like Dragon Knight who has a Dragon Tail on like a side farming AM.
Yep.
You might just need that much more of a surprise attack just to even get a hold of them.
I think getting both items in tandem is, it's often really strong. You can blink in and then use the Shadow Blade within the fight to escape. Like you say, even when they have sentries and stuff, it gives you the extra movement speed burst, and it forces a lot of sentries out on the dire side, so it's going to hurt the economy of C9. Well, we'll see what they do. This is where Ritsu really needs to be split pushing at the top or mid lane. He sees the push coming bottom, and it looks like for now he's going to farm the Ancients, make his way probably towards mid lane or top, and continue to split push.
I mean, 21 minutes in, you're handing over your bottom tier 1, and it's like, it's bound to happen eventually. So.
Does lose some Roche control for C9. It makes it a bit harder to contest Roche, and if Union get in a position where they can go for it, which...
Hockey and company waiting nearby, maybe, to get a pick here. SPG seems to be the closest target. Mike is right behind.
They see both, and that's a blink mech on Darkseer. They are still lingering. They see Darkseer far away now. I think this is dead Earthshaker.
There they go. Jump in, roar, immediate Mystic Flare, and SVG is
wild.
Gyro getting caught up here from MSS. Drops his cooldown. Can't make it away. MSS is able to easily follow up. Is a bit short on mana, but he will quickly bottle up. And here comes Fire. Has a Shadow Blade. Now has the blink. Blink in. There's going to be the Dragon Tail. Still have Shadow Blade if necessary. Gets the quick breath off.
That stun gave me TP. Yeah.
Because he already used the stun, that means that MSS can easily TP away.
You need to maybe just blink, just start nuking him and just pop your drums and right-click him, and then you've got to hold the stun until the Skywrath gets there, so... Unfortunate, but I think they had the capabilities to kill the Storm there if it was a bit more patient. Really nice gank at bottom lane. They used the Hawk Vision so well there. They saw the Darkseer sitting behind and waited till they could track that Darkseer at left to go on the Earthshaker, so... That was some smart play from Union, but they're still just so far behind the Santimage, who now has the money for Manta Style. And
just look how freaking farm this guy is, man. Nearly 14k. About to have... He has his Manta complete if he wants to pick it up. And I have not yet finished farming as he works his way through the Union Gaming jungle front. And with that, it looks like pressure could be coming shortly here from Cloud9. Feels like a smoke is coming, and I'm right. Demon has one in his pocket. It's going to get popped
Ritsu
right here.
With the Hawk here. He's going to be careful.
Well, if they make a jump on the Ritsu now and commit a lot, they will not have a lot for the follow-up fight that could be coming right behind him.
Ooh. They saw him now. He blinks north.
Well, this is the back end of a Shadow Blade. There's a blink in. There's a Dragon Tail. And quickly C9 are going to come in and respond. There goes the Ice Blast. They're jumping from MSS. They're going to get the pull on the fire, and they're going to get the kill. Now they're going to go for more. Hockey's going to get grabbed there after. A quick 1-2 punch coming out from Cloud9.
Yeah, they didn't have the damage for that. It's one of those things where it's like, oh, I saw where he blinked. I can stun him. Let's do it. But no one else could do anything. There was just no follow-up to the DK stun. Beastmaster wasn't there for a roar, and even if Beastmaster's there for a roar, again, the damage onto the Anti-Mage, where does it come from? A Gyro right-click is not going to do too much. Has drums Yasha, so at least he's starting to right-click a bit, but this AM is near unkillable now that he's level 18 with max spell shield.
Yep.
He just shrugs off all the nuke damage coming out from stuff like Skywrath and Gyrocopter.
Maybe preemptive weave and hope his armor is like all the way down by that point, and you can move in and have everyone close enough to get enough burst, but those kind of situations don't...
By the way, look at this from AM. Not completing the Manta Style. He's going to go Lincoln's instead.
Oh.
This is very
really doesn't
unconventional.
like the Primal Roar.
Yeah, Roar and the DK stun. Like a DK blink initiating, nothing to cancel it. A Beastmaster blink roaring, nothing to cancel it as well. So that's two heroes with blink stun initiations that cannot cancel the Lincolns.
Yeah, I guess ideal. It's like, oh, maybe our Shadow Priest will get him with the poison touch.
That doesn't work in actuality.
You shouldn't be that close.
Yeah,
be in there
if Dazzle's in front, he's dying. He's getting... That's like Dazzle has to be so far back. Also, he doesn't have poison touch, but even if he has it, it's just the same for the Skywrath. Skywrath can't be at the front throwing arcane bolts. It's just a death unless you have a death wish. Homing missile also does not proc Lincolns until it hits.
Oh, MSS has found a sweet little treat, and little LN is going to get a quick and easy pick. LN's like, well, there's a ward here, that's for sure, and there certainly is right in the middle of the lane. MSS sees the opportunity, calculates the mana jump, and gets the job done.
You know, the thing with the Manta is it doesn't help you against a Blink Roar or a Blink DK stun. So this Lincoln's makes him practically invulnerable because they have nothing to break it with. At least nothing practical to break it with. Unless they're going to throw DK stun and Roar and use one to break Lincoln's and the other to stun him right after. And at that point, you've haven't really got a way of still properly killing him. I think this is a smart choice from Ritsu. With his playstyle, I think if you're playing the more defensive farm playstyle, you go for the Manta style, or if you're fighting with your team, you go Manta style. But considering he's always off alone solo split pushing, Lincoln's, for now, is a better item than the Manta style.
He's just I mean, if he wants to get the Manta style, he'll have it here very soon.
Yeah.
Just the way he just farms so fast. I think it's just, well, I'm just going to get my 6 slots, and then we're going to end the game. While MSS is already getting ready to go on his own tangent at this point, the mid-game. He's happy to build up the charges here on his Bloodstone. Already up to 13 now, has the gem on hand. And was that a taken gem? It certainly... No, it was just handed over from Teban. So he's going to go on a quick dewarding spree, as you see here at the top lane. Putting Union Gaming now in the dark, in a very uncomfortable spot. There's only going to be so many places now they can reach out and find bits of farm, and those few places are certainly not going to be going to the supports, who could end up being starved.
Yeah, so I mean, C9 not in a big rush by any means. They've got Aegis though, so I think they probably feel like they're in the favorable position to take any kind of a fight they want. They smoke up, they head towards bottom. Outside of Ritsu, who's like, I'm going to blink towards mid and top. Like, I'm just going to go do my own thing. And
oh, MSS, here he comes. Ice Blast will hit, and that means the pull's going to be there shortly after with the Orchid, and he got the Grave. That's going to be a save. Here comes the follow-up Dragon Tail. MSS in a little bit of trouble here, but here comes help in the form of Teban, SVG, and company. They're going to quickly run on in. They're going to get the blink and catch with the fissure. Fire will go down. Makes it 2 all day for Cloud9. The rest of Union Gaming, oh my god, get back in the base. It's not safe here. MSS is going to make the committed jump, and now Ritsu shows up, gets off the Mana Void, and eventually will chomp him on down. Beastmaster seems to be next. 4 down all day. Only a lone Dazzle here surviving, and unfortunately he's going to have to just watch his base begin to crumble right before him, because that's a tier 3 and probably the racks to follow, because we have 30 seconds before anyone from Union Gaming is going to show up. We might even see the Tau get thrown in here soon.
yeah, another just flawless anti-mage performance from Ritsu. Not a single death to his name, and I mean, across the board, it was a good showing from C9, even with the stand-in. It didn't really seem to affect him at all. MSS felt very comfortable in the mid lane, and, well, he's not done. He's diving the well. He's going for more kills. So, this Storm Spirit has...
yeah, he's just killing people. Not really to see there. Just, finally that Dazzle just
please
out.
let's not show the viewers. This is not friendly stuff.
Yeah, we got to keep this PG over here. So... really, Cloud9, though, I gotta say, and maybe this is credit, maybe Root Gaming are a better team, but the performance here from Cloud9 has been a lot more convincing than what Digital Chaos had yesterday.
It's one of those things where I feel like that title of second best in NA is going to be tightly contested between a few teams. And
yes.
C9 is definitely one of them. Digital Chaos, I'd say, is definitely up there. There's teams like the new Mason stack as well.
Mason stack, yes.
And then you've got, of course,
Fire.
the old Fire, and I would say the old Not Today boys who are now Sector V. Those guys are always up there. They've made it to the last 2 summits, so that's not a team you can ever count out. So
yeah, their games were a bit clowny yesterday, but of course there was stand-ins. You'd hope that with a big qualifier like this, it's a lot of money. You got to remember, it's a $200,000 prize pool, not including the percentage share from the crowdfunding. It's a lot of money, so these qualifiers are no joke. There's only 1 spot for it. You make your way through, what, 3 best of 3s or so, and you are almost guaranteed a spot at the LAN. Almost looks like a paradise in itself. Though won't end up like one.
Yeah, we don't. Whatever you do not promote your lands as a paradise anymore. That will, you'd think promoting an event you're running as a paradise would be a good thing, but that word has been ruined for the esports community.
Okay, here we go. Union Gaming, persistent. They want to hold on. They want to see if they can find any sort of cheeky jump play here. A quick fight in their honor. Like a 4-0 stomp or something could certainly boost their net worth, but oh my god, they're going to need a lot of boosting. It's 25k right now for Cloud9, 30k of XP. I think it's just really C9 waiting to just kind of put a lid on it.
Yeah, Storm has 2 lives, pretty much an instant respawn if he wants to, with 19 Bloodstone charges. And again, C9 not in any rush right now. They might even wait for the next Roshan before they go high ground. This is just discipline. A lot of teams in this position would start just going for solo plays, dive the high ground without an Aegis, potentially put themselves in a position where they could give up those kills you were talking about to go Union's way. So they're just going to play it slow, and I mean, this is where 1437 as a veteran captain and just a very probably serious personality to have on your team in a good sense. He's going to keep everyone disciplined and playing properly, even against a I would say pretty obviously weaker team where you're 30k gold ahead. He's like, nope, let's treat this like reversing a tier 1
Get that
team.
stand in. Oh, Mike, quick blink away. Still gets caught with the Dragon Tail, but it's a bit far from home. Oh, they can't even get the Primal Roar off. There's a nice fissure from SVG. A follow-up Echo, and oh my god. That is heart-wrenching right there. Union Gaming smoke out through the mid lane. They're like, there he is, IX Mike. We're going to get this guy. Jump in. He just slips right out and right towards his family, and they just murderify him. Oh, man.
When you can't kill IX Mike, it might be time to tap out.
Well, that's all it took. The straw that broke the camel's back for Cloud9 to just go, okay, let's finish it off.
Yep.
Jump right down mid lane, clear out the next set of racks. One remain here, and Union Gaming are wondering what the hell actually happened. Good game, well played will be called, and that means Cloud9 will sweep this series 2-0 and move on to the next round to await the winner of our next upcoming series, which is going to be Team Fire going against Pain Gaming.
Very straightforward 2-0 victory for C9. I think it's a big confidence boost. They'll also probably say, well, we didn't have the stiffest opposition. We're going to have much tougher teams moving forward. Also, I like that they just go back to the exact same draft in game 2 because it gives less footage to the other teams in this qualifier to kind of play off. So if it's like if you see one draft, okay, they play this anti-mage Darkseer with the Darkseer Osheg opener, and then they go something else in game 2. You're like, okay, well now we know 2 of their strats. Right now, teams are like, well, they're like anti-mage. That's what you're getting from watching this series here. So it's just the same thing and rinse repeat. I think they'll have other strats up their sleeves. Is 1437 the ex-secret coach we're talking about. So
yeah, we just don't know what to expect from a lot of these teams. Even when I'm trying to research, you don't know. I mean, I have it hard to figure out what role they're going to be stuck playing in, and then you have to base it upon that, what heroes they're comfortable with. I get little inklings here, like, Ritsu, heavy farm player, look for his, AM, Ember, PL. We got to see a lot of his AM today, so it's probably something teams are going to acknowledge in the future, especially the teams that are already still in this particular tournament. And it's just a nice learning experience to see where they're going to be going with their gameplay. So
I'm looking forward to like the C9 versus the teams you're talking about, be it like teams like Fire, teams like Digital Chaos, Sector V. Like these are going to be some really tight contested matches.
Yeah, I think round 2 is where we're going to really see some of these teams shine. So I'm getting excited about it, and you guys should too. So coming up next, we have more Dota. It's going to be another best of 3. Team Fire going to be going against Pain Gaming. Should be a good one. The former Swag and Tiger squad. That'll be coming up in a few moments' time. We'll get that time for you here in just a moment. But with that said, please stick around. I'm KotLGuy. That's Gods. We're beyond the summit, and we'll see you soon.